Hello all. Today I am going to discuss something about climate change. Global Methane Pledge. This concept came out in Conference of Parties 26, the recently held meeting in the November month. It's mainly with respect to curtailing the methane emissions. So, in the greenhouse gases emissions, we think the carbon dioxide is a major gas. Other than the carbon dioxide, there are other gases like nitrous oxide and methane gas. So, here in this global methane pledge, we had made a pledge for which reduction of the methane gas. There is a target for reducing the methane gas was being formulated. So, under this pledge, we had made some contributions and some targets how to reduce the methane gas. So, first I want to tell you, the carbon dioxide is less potent when compared to methane gas. Methane gas is 30% or 30 times more potent when compared to the carbon dioxide. That means if 1 gram of carbon dioxide is released, that means 1 by 32 grams of methane gas, means 32 grams of carbon dioxide is equal to 1 gram of methane gas. So that much dangerous or powerful the methane gas is. So in this particular pledge, I am going to explain you first what is the pledge all about, what are the sources which are responsible for the methane gas release, and how to curtail this contribution of methane to the greenhouse gas emissions. So there is a pledge which is called as 30 by 30 under COP26. What is 30 by 30? We had made a pledge in this United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC, under COP26, which held in Scotland, UK. So 30 by 30 is nothing but we need to reduce 30% of greenhouse gases emissions by the levels of 2020 by the year 2030. So that by 2030 we are going to reduce 30% of the global emissions of greenhouse gases by the levels of 2020. So what are the sources of greenhouse gases emission? The biggest source is natural gas, crude oil. Other than this, agricultural fields. How agriculture fields? The water will be flooding on the agriculture fields. When the water is flooded in the agriculture field, so the soil will not be dry, so it will be wet. Every time, most of the times, the paddy fields will be flooded with water, because of which there is a chance of more bacteria evolution. So this bacteria which is evolved in the flooded waters in the paddy fields is responsible for the release of more greenhouse gas emission. Not only that, there is another source which is called as enteric fermentation, mainly because of the digestive system or the digestion process of cattle, buffaloes, cows, sheep, swine. So in the process of digestion, the gas which is coming out is also one of the major factor which is responsible for methane emissions. If I talk with respect to percentages, oil and natural gas is contributing 27% of the greenhouse gases emissions, the methane, and agriculture and agriculture related allied activities like manure, when you use the manure for the sake of fertilization in the form of fertilizer, it is also responsible for the release of methane gas. So 17% is contributed from agriculture and agriculture allied activities. Enteric fermentation, mainly the cattle, the swine, the goats, the sheep, in the process of digestion, the gas which is coming out is also contributing up to 20%. In that way, there is a contribution is happening with respect to emission of the methane gases. So how to curtail it? How to stop these methane gases? There are various methods. Number one is equipment upgradation. We need to use technology. By equipment upgradation, we can capture the methane gas. By capturing the methane gas, we can produce electricity. Mainly by using the equipment which is technology driven, the waste which is coming from the agriculture field and the waste which is coming from the buffaloes or the cattle, that waste can be used for manufacturing of energy. In a way, the methane which is released will be stored and the carbon dioxide will be the output and the methane will be converted in the form of carbon dioxide. That is one method. And second method is alternative wetting and drying, which is called as AWD. Alternative wetting and drying, which means the paddy fields will be wetted, flooded, then some time will be taken, then the paddy fields will be dried, then again the flooding of the water will happen, the wet the roots of the paddy will be wetted, then again sometimes we will be drying it. In this way, alternative wetting and drying will be happening so that the bacteria accumulation in the paddy fields will not happen. So because of which we can control the production of the bacteria which is responsible for methane gas emission. This system is used in Northeast India as well as in Japan. This is one of the best method whereby we can stop the production of methane gas. Not only that, going vegan. Going vegan means complete ban or complete absent or complete disappearance of animal food, like no meat, not only meat, no eggs, not only eggs, milk products also. Whatever is coming from the animals, we should stop consuming so that the dependence on the animals will reduce and the dependence on the plant food will increase. Eventually, the methane gas reduction will be, methane gas will be reduced in the global environment. By this process, we can compromise or we can reduce the greenhouse gases emissions in which methane is the target. This particular pledge is with respect to global methane pledge. In order to reduce the methane, again I am repeating, the methane is 30% more potent pollutant when compared to carbon dioxide. So it is not only about focusing on carbon dioxide, it is inevitable that we have to focus on methane also. Then what is the stand of India? India is completely out of the pledge. India, Russia and China did not accept it. The India reasoning is 2/3 of the India's population is living in countryside. And today also, in the urbanized India also, 66% of the India population is depending upon agriculture. And major chunk of village people are depending upon pastoralism, mainly depend upon the cattle rearing. So, because of the major chunk of the population depend upon agriculture and cattle rearing, we cannot make them to stop doing cattle rearing or we cannot make them to go for any of the alternatives which might affect their livelihood. Because of this, the greenhouse gases emissions in which methane we didn't had any pledge and we did not obliged ourselves with respect to any of the agreements in this conference of parties 26. But we hope some technology will evolve, upgradation of technology will happen, upgradation of equipment will happen and we will get enough fund from the developed countries so that we can go for more technology oriented equipment so that the methane gas can be acquired or methane gas can be sequestered and this methane gas can be converted in the form of energy. And this is what global methane pledge of conference of parties 26. I am expecting a mains question, either group 1 or civil services. I am expecting a prelims question also. 30/30. What is 30/30? On this note, thank you and Jai Hind.